So Chris Jones has signed an updated contract with the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, I don't really know the details, but I do know that this is enough to get him to suit up next week against the Jacksonville Jaguars. And this is honestly very great news because a lot of people are already doubting the Kansas City Chiefs and what they could do due to the fact that we had a very tough season opener. But for the most part, I mean, to be fair, we lost by 1 point without Travis Kelce and Chris Jones, and those are two future Hall of Famers, man. So it's a big deal when your team is not. This is like, your team is not fully healthy, and you have two future Hall of Famers out and they're not playing. But this week, we seen how the AFC went. Our usual big rivals like the Bills and the Bengals, they both started off 0-1 and had very horrible games. So on Sunday afternoon, this game against the Jags is going to be very crucial, and the Kansas City Chiefs must win this to get onto a great start for the season, because even with that opener and how bad that was for the Kansas City Chiefs, if they could go out there and redeem themselves against the Jacksonville Jaguars, then they'll be good for the rest of the season, because after the Jaguars, they have the Bears week 3, then they have the Jets week 4, and I'm sorry what happened to A-Rod, that was very sad. And then they have the Vikings week 5. So those 3 games should definitely be wins right there. So this game against the Jaguars is going to be very important and very crucial. But Chris Jones being back is something that's very great news. And if you see what the defense was doing last game, they were very good against the Lions. They were very, very good. That's why I don't think anybody should honestly even overlook this Kansas City Chiefs defense, because now that we're getting Chris Jones back and eventually Charles Omenihu, who was going to come off a suspension, the Kansas City Chiefs could end up being very, very dangerous. And Trent McDuffie is looking like a very good player as well. That's going to make a huge impact, and I also have to make a video on him. So the Kansas City Chiefs are looking in line to have a lot of success. And with Chris Jones coming back, number 95, the monster, him coming back, that's going to make this team even more scary. I believe that this may be a top 5 defense, and this is going to be the best defense that Patrick Mahomes has ever had, because against the Detroit Lions, they was really shutting them down. It was the offense that stunk it up, really. So I expect next week that to continue against the Jags. I don't think that was a fluke game. I feel like that's going to definitely continue against the Jags. Chris Jones is probably going to come out the game with 2 sacks, because he's playing for something. Because he needs incentives, right? That's what he's going for, incentives, or however you say it. He's going for that. So I know he's going to be very hungry to get as much money on his contract as he can. So that's something to look out for. And yeah, that's definitely something to look out for. And I do believe that Chris Jones is going to show up, and he's going to play very well, and he's going to fit in perfectly with this new Chiefs defense. And this new Chiefs defense is going to definitely love his presence, and it's going to get even better. So I can't wait to see how they really work against the Jags next weekend. This weekend. I do believe that they're going to shut the Jags down, and we should for sure be seeing the Kansas City Chiefs having a very great game. And if the offense just come along like it's supposed to, Travis Kelce, hopefully he's healthy, I can see him popping off, because he missed the game. So I can see him popping off against the Jags. I could see Tony having a bounce back game. It's a lot of things I could see going on against the Jags, and I do believe we're going to come out hot for that game, because we kind of got an easy stretch after that. So that's the one game that we want to put our all to and really go out there and make sure we win. I mean, a lot of people is not happy about Veach due to the way he's been handling things. But one thing that we have to admit about Brett Veach is that he is doing very well with building this defense. He's putting good players out there on the field on defense, and getting a deal done with 95, it was very clutch. I mean, it's only a deal for this year, but it's giving him the money that he deserves and that he wants. And having him for another year is very good to help the Super Bowl run. And if we can win another Super Bowl, that would be beautiful to watch, because as a Chiefs fan, that's just something that we want to see. And if Patrick Mahomes wins another Super Bowl, it's time to start making that conversation. I understand Brady has 7, but you could at least put Mahomes at that 2 spot at that point. And, man, I believe that's going to happen, because this defense is definitely unnormal. is looking very good. This is not a regular Chiefs defense. The O-line is looking beautiful. Even though they had a few penalties, it was costly, but they're looking beautiful. The only question mark is really the wide receivers. If the wide receivers could get it going, I feel like that Bears game is going to help the wide receivers get it going, or that Vikings game. Because then we had them games against Buffalo and San Francisco. That's when the wide receivers really got going last year. So I believe we're going to have them games again. But next week against the Jags, I do expect Travis Kelce to have a big game. I expect Kadarius Toney to have a big game. I expect Chris Jones to have a 2-sack game. And I do believe Patrick Mahomes is definitely going to have a bounce-back game. Even though he did not too bad against the Lions, I still believe that he's going to do way better against the Jags. And Patrick Mahomes is hungry, man. He's angry. The whole team is pissed. We should come out with a lot of momentum. And definitely don't want to make that mistake we did week 1 against a very high-powered team like the Jags with a very great offense. You don't want to underestimate them, and you most definitely don't want to overlook them or their defense. So they're really just going to need another game to get going, and I do believe it could happen. Like I said in my last video, they just got to make the right decision by putting, dudes like Ross out there, dudes like Rashid, just dudes that could go out there and just cook, give you a good amount of points, stuff like that. But we really want to see what this defense is going to do once Chris Jones is back. I feel like this is going to be very scary. And I got another video coming on Trent McDuffie very soon. You're going to enjoy that. So I'm going to keep bringing out this content as we get, deeper and deeper in the season. Games are coming up. It's going to be very great. Chiefs are going to have a very good year. And I hope that y'all tuning into my content while this is going on, because, man, we're going to be making a lot of it. We're not going to run out of content. We're going to keep pushing. We're going to keep making these videos. And the linebackers are also another very strong, that's another strong part of our defense. They help out a lot. Linebackers like Nick Bolton, who's honestly a star. The secondary is beautiful. So it's a lot of great players on our defense. And Chris Jones is about to turn this up, man. Charles Omeni, who's going to come turn this up. I honestly can't wait. I also can't wait till we catch our first interception. That's also going to be very nice to see. I wonder who we going to get our first interception on. One of T-Law going to throw us one. T-Law might throw us one. If not, I know Phils is definitely giving us an interception on week 3. Week 4, yeah, Zach Wilson's definitely giving us an interception, or whoever they sign. Week 5, Kirk is most likely going to give us an interception. So I believe the Chiefs could force a lot of turnovers. I believe their defense is going to be more elite than people think. After that performance against the Lions, man, it gave me very high hopes and high praise for their defense. And I do believe that they're going to surprise a lot. They're going to shock a lot. And once Chris Jones come back, it's going to be very beautiful, which he did come back. But once he's actually playing and he's suited up, hopefully that's Sunday. Hopefully Kelce come back as well. The Kansas City Chiefs are going to be just fine. And don't be surprised we're right back in the Super Bowl, raising that Lombardi trophy.